And welcome back to another video, and I bet this was a story I think that you would never hear off someone's mouth, right? On YouTube, or wherever you're watching this. But Intel is in talks for a multi-billion-dollar contract to produce secure microchips for the US military. And this comes from TechSpot. Intel is reportedly in negotiations with the US government for a multi-billion-dollar contract to build a secure enclave that produces microchips exclusively for the military. The potential deal is part of the Chips and Science Act, which allocates nearly $53 billion for US semiconductor manufacturing and research. While the agreement is still in the negotiation stage, it has sparked concerns from rival chip makers and some lawmakers who fear it will give Intel an unfair advantage. And I would agree. When there's a $53 billion fund that is going to go to one company to develop secure chips for their military, I would say that is an unfair advantage, because essentially a company is getting $53 billion invested in it. Also bear in mind that the US was on verge of bankruptcy a few months ago, where they couldn't do their budget in right. They couldn't get the budget balanced, and there was like serious issues where they might actually have their debt called in right, but they have $53 billion to dump into the military again. For this, some senators questioned the government's decision to spend such a substantial amount on a chip fabrication facility solely for the military, while others argue it is a necessary investment for national security. Nonsense. If finalized, the facility could be established at Intel's existing complex in Arizona, with an estimated cost ranging from $3 billion to $4 billion. The funding would be drawn from the manufacturing grant subsidies under the CHIPS Act. So the actual building of this complex would be $3 to $4 billion, and then there would be a further whatever it is in money that's left over that would be given to Intel to do all these things. So Intel would, and just to make it perfectly clear, government funding and profit margins are significantly higher than what it would be for public consumers, right? So if Intel gets this contract, their profit margin would be a lot higher on this. It wouldn't be like a consumer profit margin. This would be like we're gonna get some bank and some money off this. You know, we're on government money now. You know, there's $53 billion here. We're gonna get the money we need. Like the ceiling. When you sell products, normally it's supply and demand, right? In this case, this is we have this money. This is how much we have. You know, we actually have this money situation where Intel could be like, oh, we can make a lot from this. It is just crazy. There's so many reasons for why this is bad. Namely that it would just be a heavy investment in Intel from a government, and that is so dodgy on so many levels. I get the idea that you want it to be secure, your military resources, you don't want them to be tamperable from the outside from possible enemies, right? But then at the same time, you have to think about the real world impact of what you're doing, although America doesn't really care about the real world impact of what they're doing. If Intel becomes one of the biggest companies in the world, and well, they are one of the biggest companies in the world, but if the Intel were to become an entire monopoly and because it's US based, if all the chip manufacturing stuff was done in the US, they would not care. They wouldn't care a bit. They would actually quite enjoy that outcome because that's what they want. Yeah. Also, you best believe if that happens as well, the US's interest in Taiwan will quickly diminish because they won't be needing their semiconductors anymore, because they'll all be made domestically. And that would be a win-win for the US. No need to worry about pesky Taiwan anymore, and you can just forget about that, and they can have their cake and eat it, right? But I know what you guys think about this one down below. I can understand why other chip makers and stuff would see and have a problem with this, because one, many of them can't participate because they don't operate solely in the US. They're not domestic, right? And two, it seems like even domestically in the US, Intel's the only one that's really been given any consideration, at least from where this reads, but that could be wrong. maybe there's more information, I don't know. But let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, share, subscribe. See you guys in the next one, and peace out, guys.